Pancakes, wiggly style.
I'm sure everyone else watching's laughing.
Most importantly, the engine's out.
The engine's out. The engine's out, guys. The engine's out.
Fun now.
Love that. I call it video picture.
Love your ones better. In and around the mouth.
I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. Look at the beautiful stars, I wanna drive a faster car.
So guys, on the last episode you may have missed my buddy Josh smashing his head on the rear of the GT40 chassis. So I thought I'd slow it down for you and watch it in real time. Josh, I know this really did hurt and you played it off cool, but let's see it.
Ow. Second first.
It's alright, you can laugh. I'm sure everyone else watching's laughing.
You are not wrong, Josh. We were all laughing.
Guys, welcome to this episode of Make or Break. Today it is the much needed and much excitement engine removal. Engine and gearbox out the hole. We can do a tear down in some videos and work out what's going on with the engine. Now you've seen our parts haul that we got from Atlanta, Georgia. We are pretty much ready to rebuild this engine in quite a fast pace. Josh over here has had a very, very busy week, taking all the rear suspension and the core springs out, and now we're taking the engine and gearbox out. David here, my trusty sidekick, is here with us today to give us another set of hands to help us out, but it is happening. We are getting involved. Josh is primarily pumping the ramp up, and we're getting ready. So let's get to it. Let's get the engine and gearbox out, and when it's out, we can strip the gearbox off. We can look at what the clutch is like. We can see how good the clutch is. Is the clutch reusable? Do we need a new one? I can imagine it'll be reusable because the car hasn't done many miles. But most important thing, let's get the engine and gearbox out. Let's see what we can do. First of all, what we're doing, guys, is we're going to be removing the, if you want to get in here, Dave, we're going to be removing these rear gearbox mounts because they're going to interfere with the engine coming backwards. So you've got a rubberized mount here and a metal bracket. These are sided. This is a left-hand one, that's a right-hand one. I can assure you they're completely different. Then what we're going to do in here is you have an engine mount and a base bracket. We're going to remove the pin bolt all the way through there and try and get the engine loose from the front. But we're supporting it here from a very, very impressed with Mr. Josh. Not only Josh has smashed out the rear suspension here and got the drive shafts and everything else done, he has been a busy boy, hasn't you, Josh? He's been making bracketry to remove it. Most people would buy a flat plate that would mount onto the cast manifold, but then with the gearbox still attached, the engine is going to go like this because the weight distribution is wrong. But Josh has made it in such a place that hopefully, with a tremendous amount of luck, it's going to come out nice and straight. If not, with a bit of mandrolic help, it will come out, right, Josh?
Yeah, that's the benefit of having three of us here today.
That's
we're
it.
Probably going to need somebody just to lean down on the gearbox. But it's one of those things. Yeah, we could have got a plate for the carburetor, like how a lot of them do it.
What fun is that, though?
Well, it's not just like you hit on it perfectly. It's not that. It's the weight distribution with the gearbox on. It's going to be very, very difficult to remove the gearbox while it's in the car because of the way that the rear of the car is designed. So it's going to have to come out as one. And with it coming out as one, if you have all of your, if you have the
all the way
point right at the front, then like you say, it's going to tilt forwards, and the first thing it's going to break is the distributor.
And we don't want to do that.
If it's going to tilt, I'd rather it tilt backwards.
Pretty pleased with a cherry on top.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So, that's just a small bracket.
Let me get my hands dirty. He's undone the 3 bolts on that mount there. Right, what do you want me to do? What are these, 17s at the front here?
Yeah.
Got a couple of 17s.
Spanner here, and I believe there is a socket down your side. There's 3 there.
Muchas gracias, senor.
Shouldn't go too far. Once you get this up.
We've put nylox on exactly the right length, which is nice.
I'm hoping I haven't forgotten to take anything off.
Don't worry about that.
Find out. Well, it's when you go to lift the engine out and you realise that there's an earth cable that you haven't seen. You're lifting and lifting and lifting, and it's tugging and tugging and tugging. Why won't it come out? What's it catching on?
And then you've got to pay £45 for another earth cable.
No, I'll just go out and find one of the cars that we've got.
Yeah.
There's don't with vehicles. One thing we seem to not be short of here at the moment is vehicles. Not necessarily vehicles that I'm going to be stealing parts of, but above your head there is a Mark II Escort, which is having an engine transplant.
Very cool. Which all you viewers at home, you've been commenting on the lovely Cosworth behind Dave there. And one day, if I can get to know the owner a little bit better, maybe he'll give us a tour and show us that bad boy. But it's about making friends here, guys, about working together with people. And that is probably one of his pride and joy. So it's about, you know, like I said to you, step back, get to know the guy. And if he wants you lovely people at home to see it one day, then maybe he'll just let me. We're getting there. The bolts are coming out nicely on the rear mount here. You know, he's used really top quality bolts on everything. Have you had anything hard to get out yet?
You know, I don't think they have.
No, everything has been, you know, put together well. He's used nylon bolts here, which are a rubber insert inside a nut. So basically, instead of using a spring washer to hold that nut onto the bolt, it just secures it with a nylon end. And all the bolts are coming out really, really well. So this mount is completely loose now. There we go. So that is our left-hand engine mount.
Have the sucking spanner.
No worries. So that is our left-hand engine mount, just like that. And the rubber is a bit perished, so we will get new ones of these. It's out, okay? We understand that if this was a car that you were doing on a budget, you would be doing this, you know, you do your best. But we're gonna powder coat these brackets here. We'll get them done, and then we'll get new brackets, new mounts, but very, very cool.
We're probably going to want uprated gearbox mounts anyway, because the amount of thrust that's going to get put through this gearbox.
What did for the people at home, and for me, Josh, what did a Renault UN1 gearbox go in originally?
I think they came out of a Renault 21.
Or 21, right. So you can imagine...
Don't quote me on it.
We're
Please
throwing
don't quote me on it, viewers.
350 horsepower through a car, through a gearbox that was probably made for hundreds. Right, what I'm doing there, guys, is putting my bolts back in the holes of the gearbox mount, so when we're going to put them back in, we know exactly where they are.
And where they came from.
That's it.
One thing we're going to have is a lot of bolts kicking around. That's why I have this habit of
When he's talking,
bolts.
When he's talking, try and get into him because we haven't got radio mics on today.
You should get them.
You got a bit of weight on there, I think, mate.
Yeah, I think.
Let me take the.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Look, the weight there that it's holding isn't tremendous. It's not a lot of weight.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. Up there for thinking, down there for dancing. One more bolt on the gearbox mount, then we've got our engine mount bolts to remove. And then we can see if we can get this bad boy out the hole.
I think the engine mounts are a simple 2 bolts per side. And we should better leave the mount on the engine, both sides. Hopefully it will clear the car as we go.
Slowly, slowly.
One of those, with cars like this, it's kind of a learn as you go experience.
There we have.
That should be, look at that, wonderful.
Oh, get me dirty. I'm not paid enough money to get dirty.
I'm not paid enough money for the stock.
There we go, we touched on that. Touch situation there. Right, and then bolts. Do you reckon they got captured nuts in the chassis?
I think they're nut and bolted.
Oh, they're nuts on the top. That's different. I wasn't expecting that.
It's going to have a spanner on the bottom.
Do you want that?
Can do, yeah. You're okay.
So looking at the gearbox here, you know, it has been painted and, you know, the gears do feel really nice. We think it's a 5-speed gearbox. I've just gone through the gears to check that. I think it's a 5-speed, but we'll check that when it's out. They did make a 4-speed as well, but that wasn't a UN1, I believe. I could be wrong. So
I believe it's a 5-speed. It's got a 5-speed gear stick.
that doesn't mean nothing.
No.
I had a 5-speed gear stick, right, on an automatic Jag once.
my road car, my Granada,
Yeah.
that has had now got a 5-speed in it. That has a 5-speed gear stick.
Yeah.
Got a 5-speed gearbox in there, but it used to have 4-speed that they came with. So yeah, you're right. But, if you're going to go to all of the trouble of building a car like this, I should imagine you'd probably find it easy.
There is, I think they were made out of elm wood.
What boxes? That's not like
No, that's what Matilda's dad told me was inside the gearbox. Wood shavings. No, someone please correct me and tell me what it was, but I believe the original gear ball or whatever it's called, the actual
gear knob.
You know what I mean?
Gear knob.
Gear knob, thank you. Gear ball. The original gear knob was actually made out of wood, so it'd be quite nice to see. You got both yours out?
The front and the back.
I haven't got this front one out. Because I'm rubbish. I'm not as good as you.
Less of the talking, Sam. Less talking, more working.
Don't do nothing. I like that.
My dad, the chef, has just bought us pancakes.
In and around the mouth. The pancakes. So,
In and around?
the mouth. Where else do you put your pancakes?
Oh, I don't put them around my mouth, I put them in my mouth.
There's always something that gets. Right, here we go.
Right.
I'm going to shout at you if we're going to get anywhere near this.
What I'm hoping to do is just take the weight
Yep.
and then roll it back slightly.
Okay.
Okay. Like that.
Okay, good. That's it.
There we go.
We were stuck on the lower shoe there.
Don't worry about the splattering, that should be the last tool coming out.
No worries.
Have we got a gap now? Yeah.
We've got a slight gap at the front, and we're lifting up this lower shoehorn here is in the way. We're getting there.
Right, go.
Okay, you were right. You've done that in such a well, because that's
I wanted the front to dip. So
yeah,
that,
which is good.
So that it didn't.
That's what we did. We didn't want it to smash the Mallory off, did we?
Not necessarily. I'm sure you probably looking
Glad
for
I
an
did.
excuse to go back to America to get yourself a distributor.
Oh yeah, you'd have to come with me that time though. Right.
I can't afford to come with you. I've got too much to do.
It's alright, someone will pay for it. Right. So what Josh is doing is just moving all the bits and pieces out of the way of the front of the engine. When we lift this up, anything we break is going to cost us money. And being hard up is, that's one of the most important things. It's not breaking stuff.
Hard up by name and hard up by nature.
Evenings and weekends.
Right. I'm going to let the car down slightly. You can just keep holding back the gearbox so it doesn't tilt. We've probably got it down.
Right, stop there.
We're clear.
It's only because I can't see where the distributor is on the top of the...
Yeah, we're fine. We've got. Okay.
Cool. So we could go right down if you want.
We can go down a touch further. I don't want to. Pull it hash. Safety locks on this gravity goes up before it goes down.
Yeah. Okay, we're getting caught on the corner pipe there. There we go. We're clear of that
I'm
now.
just going to try and ease it back slightly.
Yeah.
Can't go too far back because there's a car on the ramp.
Okay, right.
Ed, who owns the car that's on the ramp, is probably screaming now on YouTube. That's my car, that's my car!
Mine.
Aren't you, Ed?
Right. Okay, good. Yeah, go down again with the car.
You ready?
Yep. All the way down.
Right, I don't know about you, but that's probably a good shot to get on the big on
That's
the
our fun now.
for your phone.
You're a legend, aren't you? Starting to like it more and more.
I'm starting to get more used to it. I'm starting to feel a little bit more.
You look at these silly photos that I take and go, right,
If you get, I can't remember your name.
Dave, you can hold that there. Hold that there.
You got a picture.
You come around the other side of me, Josh.
Oh, I was going to stay here.
Okay, you stay there.
A man
There you go.
box.
Ready? Cool.
There you go. There's your thumbnail.
Thumbnail. Love
What do
that.
you call it? Thumbnail.
Thumbnail.
Love that. I call it video picture.
Love your one better. Right. Should we come back with this?
Yeah, let's see if we can get that. I'm amazed. It's
Loving the carpet, by the way.
Oh yeah, about every year or two I'll try and get a new piece of carpet that goes under the ramp. It's just a little bit nicer than nylon than concrete. Look, I don't have many creature comforts in my shed, but carpet is one of them. Oh, and we do have a kettle. I never use it. Right, I think we're clear, aren't we?
Right.
Clear.
So there we have it. The engine and gearbox is completely clear of the chassis. Gives us a lot more to look at. We can exactly work out what we've got to play with and what we're going to get rid of. Basically, the rear suspension, we want to try and put new upper and lower trailing arms. We want to, do it in more of a GT40 way. But I'm sure that something will happen that will change my, direction as always, eh, Josh?
Yeah, you get a real good view now, actually, of the structure and the general makeup of the car. Look at the handbrake link, look at that.
That's pretty, isn't it?
It's quite cool, isn't it?
Done a good job with that.
That's something we're probably not going to need to change unless we alter the way the engine
Yeah, it
lays.
could be powder coated and made look pretty. It's not a problem.
Yeah, definitely, we could probably do something with these chassis
look,
rails to do
100%.
away with that outrigger. I think.
We could do an underslung bracket that would mount both the brackets, the chassis rails together or something. But what we need to do is really look at a Southern GT now and really work out what's going on. So
Most importantly, the engine's out.
the engine's out. The engine's out, guys. The engine's out. So right, if we're going to, I'm kind of thinking that while the engine's in this lovely peculiar position, should we take the gearbox off?
Take the gearbox off.
Cool.
Take the gearbox off.
So guys, thanks for watching another episode on Make or Break. The engine is out, and now we can do the strip down, we can get the gearbox off the back, we can look at what our clutch is like, we can look at what the flywheel's like, we can look at what kind of synchro kind of starter motor we have, because the starter motor looks a little bit different to like your normal starter motor that would pre-engage. It's got like a gear setup on it in some way that I believe would engage into the gearbox and then remove itself and come back out. So we need to look into that and work out what kind of starter motor it's got, look at the flywheel, check the clutch, we'll go over that. So on the next episode on Make or Break, we're going to whip the gearbox off and go through the clutch and brakes. See you next week. So guys, we just whipped the engine out and you thought the episode was over. Well, today is Shrove's Tuesday, which means it's Pancake Day in the United Kingdom. And we have pancakes.
Wiggly style.
Pancakes, wiggly style, marshmallows and everything. So, guys, it's not quite the end of the video, but now it is. We can eat them. Bye.
Quick reminder, hit that subscribe button, the like button, and then the bell button, so you get alerts when we release new episodes, and follow us on social media too for extra stuff and more alerts about videos we're releasing, which at the moment is every Sunday and the odd Wednesday too. Bye for now.